People visiting Baku always tell me, how come you're so negative about things? It's so beautiful. People are happy. Buildings are so beautiful. Construction going on. How come you're so negative? I'm asking them a question. Have you seen a wall along the road from airport to the city center? We call it belt of happiness. It hides the real Azerbaijan from the eyes of the visitors. Behind that wall you see polluted area, houses of poor people. People walk without happy faces. The beautiful is only a facade. They don't want to show what is happening outside the belt of happiness.
We were not expecting any revolution in Baku. The idea was to make people to act, to do something. Say that I don't like this, change the system.
If you go to a protest, they
will be jailed.
Yeah, we'll jail for a week, for example, if it's not a big protest.
Söz azadlığının, toplaşmaq azadlığının, fikir azadlığının, fikir ifadəsinə dair bütün hərəkətləri, əməlləri dəstəkləyirik. Çox sağ olun. Hazırda gördüyünüz kimi İlqar müəllim.
In Azerbaijan, if you are criticizing the government, you can be beaten, you can be kidnapped, and people will not know, your family will not know where you are for days. You can be killed in the entrance of your house. That happened to Elmar Husseinov in 2005. It's still not clear who killed him. Government claims 98% success in solving criminal cases, except the cases against journalists. Jabbar Savalan republished an article from Turkish newspaper dated back to 2003, calling then candidate for president Ilham Aliyev gambler, and then suddenly police finds drugs in his pocket and puts him to jail. Same kind of drug planting was used against Einullah Fatullayev in prison. They found drugs in his shoes in prison. They used the same case against satire writer Mirza Sakit. Another one is hooliganism, used against Ganimat Zahid, editor-in-chief of Azadlık newspaper. So it's kind of open season for journalists in Azerbaijan.
My name is Adnan Hajizada. I was the founder and the foreign relations advisor of All Youth Movement. All stands for to be. We encourage young people to be democratic, to be tolerant. We were having flash mobs, public lectures, mini protests. Once we heard a thing that really crossed the line of absurdity. The Ministry of Agriculture then imported 2 donkeys from Germany for breeding purposes. And these premium donkeys cost 42,000 euros per donkey.
Adnan put online a video of a donkey giving a conference, presenting himself as a German donkey.
Çünkü mən fərqliyəm. Yəni mən artıq mən A kateqoriyalı eşyayım.
The donkey can speak 5 languages. He can play the violin. Donkey, jackass, it's the same in Azerbaijan.
Yəni Azərbaycanlarda eşyəklər üçün yəni liboy bir imkanlar var. Səndə yetərincə eşyəklik varsa sənin qəlbində.
People were fast to turn this into a big thing, as if I was making mockery of the presidency. The last case of actual being arrested for defamation, the government lost in the European Court of Human Rights. So they became more, I would say, crafty with arresting people. They either plant drugs on you, or they send someone to start a fight, a brawl, and then accuse you of hooliganism.
The same with us. We were arrested as hooligans. We were sitting in a restaurant. We were beaten up by 2 big sportsmen.
They headbutted Emin. They hit me on my face.
And then when we came to police station to report the case, we were detained.
And me and Emin, who have never fought anyone in their lives and who are propagators of non-violence, were arrested.
All I did is just I brought a costume from New York, donkey costume.
I was sentenced to 2 years in prison, Emin was sentenced to 2.5 years.
We were bringing together people who had connections, who had power, and they were all with us. They were coming to our forums, they were listening to us, they were thinking about the future of the country. So that was the point when government decided to scare the whole generation. We asked why Azerbaijan government spent $44,000 to buy 2 donkeys from Germany. And after I spent 17 months in jail, the question is still not answered.
After I was arrested in prison, I thought if I knew that I would be arrested, I would do so much more. I would do so much more, I would be much more outspoken. So after you get arrested, you actually know that you were arrested for some real things, you know, not for some silly video.
Avrupa Şurası'nın bu möhtəşəm sarayında həm Azərbaycan Respublikası, həm də Avropa üçün çox mühüm əhəmiyyətli, o əhəmiyyətə malik olan bir hadisə baş verir. Biz insan haklarının qorunmasını önə çəkdik, vətənimizin və vətəndaşlarımızın totalitarizm dövrünün ağır irsindən xilas olmasına çalışdıq.
Well, after Azerbaijan had acceded to membership of the Council of Europe, which incidentally I think I was the only person to vote against, not because I was opposed to Azerbaijan, because I didn't feel they'd met the democratic credentials. And indeed, what happened afterwards was many accusations of hundreds of political prisoners, totally contrary to both the spirit and the letter of the Convention of Human Rights, and indeed membership of the Council of Europe. So I was appointed as rapporteur to try and negotiate with the government of Azerbaijan to secure the release of political prisoners. So the argument was, you've signed these undertakings, that's a condition of your membership. How seriously do you want to engage with the Council of Europe? How seriously do you want to engage with the Western world? How seriously do you want to be viewed as a civilized democratic country or not?
Azerbaycan gençliğinin özünü təsdiq edin. Azerbaycan gençliğinin.
İlk dəfə mən axır 7 ildə mən bildiyim qədərilə belə bir şey, birinci dəfə icazəli mitingdən olur. Bu özünü dəyişiklik. Bu o deməkdir ki, bu bir başlanğıcdır. Bundan sonra polislər bizi döyməyəcək.
He was invited as a musician to the sanctioned youth protest rally. He is very outspoken. His songs are very edgy. And they include a lot of profanity. So when he started singing, a lot of more conservative youth came up to the stage and they said that you cannot be singing these profanities because it's against the moral norms of the society. Then it got physical. There were provocators, police dressed in plain clothes. They beat him down to the ground. The bass guitarist, he was dragged around by his hair. They were beaten there, they were beaten again in the police station. They tied his feet against a chair and they beat him on his heels with a police bat for an hour or so. It's an ancient way of torture in Muslim countries. It is very painful. It doesn't leave marks.
İşgəncələr barədə nə deyə bilər?
İşgəncələr barədə orada baş salmağın yolu belədir. Adamı çağırırlar, başa salırlar. Mən də çağırırlar, bir-iki dəfə başa salırlar. Bəs sala. Orada mənə dedilər ki, deyərsən ki, biz səni başa saldıq. Mən dedim, yaxşı.
I'm working right now on a story about the president.
Əziz dostlar,
I have documents showing that the president's family is involved into the construction of the flag square, which was an enormously expensive project, and the government was presenting it as a patriotic project. Well, it turns out that president's family made money on patriotic feelings of the people of Azerbaijan. I sent inquiries to the government about ownership of the companies, so they knew that I'm doing this. And I think they have other tools to know what I'm doing. Actually, I received a package. I received a package which included 6 pictures of me engaged in sexual relations with my boyfriend. They've been apparently filming inside the apartment. There was a short note there, like, you whore, behave or you will be defamed. It was a tough decision, but I decided to go public. Məsələ bunda deyil ki, mən prezident ailəsini izləyirəm hər yerdə. Sadəcə araşdırdığım hər biznesin arxasından onların adları çıxır. A week later, they put the video on the website. I can't say I didn't expect that because it happened to my colleagues. Some of them quit their jobs as a result of it. So that's why I decided to fight back, because someone needs to stop this. I was trying to stay safe. Like, I would always have someone next to me. I wouldn't go to places I didn't know. I decided not to have family. Like, it was a choice made long ago. When my colleague, Elmar Husseinov, was killed, the moment I heard that he was shot dead, I felt guilty because, like, he was killed because he was alone.
I think her life is under great risk because in spite of all the international attention, I mean, we know with whom we are dealing.
Because of the energy interest, the big Western powers are not confronting Azerbaijan too much on human rights and democracy issues because Azerbaijan is a valuable partner in energy, society, and in the global war against terrorism.
I think the international community tends not to ask enough questions of itself. It tends to look at the oil price and the oil security. We do deals with not very pleasant regimes because it's to our commercial benefit.
We're speaking about European values, the values of democracy. Then people see scenes on Azerbaijani television, European leaders shaking hands with their corrupt president.
I'm glad that the President could confirm today that the country will continue to provide the EU market with significant volumes of energy supply in the future.
It just creates a question. What kind of values are you talking about?